I think hold your thoughts for a second. My name Alhaji Ishaq, Che Bobe Indian Como or a financial policy analyst. Any thoughts on a Guta? One more 3-day a year strike here, one more a year, one more exclusive, one more shops. Now I can say 2 days because I'm so and no more reopening one more shops. Alhaji, good morning. Good
morning, yeah.
Hello, Alhaji.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Important to sound pay.
Yeah, minimum pay, but I'm sorry.
I could come crack it. I see Pisana Pony didn't come up. But now maybe someone say, I didn't see you so worried about Guta, one more at one more shops in one. Someone ebre. How does it impact necessarily directly on the economy? Alhaji, how does Guta one more closure 2 days now? What impact would it have had on the Ghanaian economy?
In fact, I'm not paying what here for. I'll deal with that quickly, but let me step back a little and look at the surrounding issues, and then I'll place the implications later.
Okay.
No correct. Say, and I totally agree with the lady that I listened to briefly, the person that spoke last, that the city is depreciating very quickly. Within a short time, about 47%. And at the same time, inflation last month, 37.2%. And the way I see I want in the air from now. I can conveniently project to say by the end of this year, we are likely to hit 40%. It's not good for business. At the same time, see a person, Bank of Ghana raised policy rate all the way from 13.5%. How much you see? I could do 24.5%. Banks no kwanya omufaso at the loan many pa and no echna a policy rate in the city AC and policy rate in about 13.5%, no, a drive lending rate, although they a percent ban 10, but you're not quite a young intent and I'm from terminal from 32, average 32% about we inherited, and by all the way down to 20.60% lending rate. Now to see I could do 24.5% this year fighting inflation. I must say lending rate and also assets shoot up to around 32, 33%. I'm sure some banks perhaps will even go all the way to 35%. It's not good for business. I want to establish that fact first. Number two, NSA. Then the issue of taxes. And in particular, value-added tax. Akofa sa jedifui ensemble abundance no minano fact na say surround VAT. And that is where I have pluses and minuses. One, as I say, VAT no enye jedifo no sika. Oton wa de simple anasa teku about 18.5%, and that's a flat rate at 4%. Fact so, for my dear man, Mitier PRO with the Minister of Trade said, and now one more day, Ghana Revenue Authority will only be a call shops maybe. Then they realize that. Vata shop Utiama are buying there's a 400,000 Ghana cedis now. There indeed is around 2.9 million Ghana cedis. And some of them 1.9 million Ghana cedis. And so, Usha, as you say, a buying person, only a no a year in terms of, say, for the buying Ghana Revenue Authority, and person only a no a year. You could see some important justification in that particular move. However, say, oh, this is a kind of faswa, obey no, a idea, as I say, we involve women in no ekasa, now church, now the data needed a 2 women. Because we can't again, no. The key concern, which I also share, and it's a Abayam Rabonting in particular, normally show the way forward. As to where we are, government doesn't need to tell anybody as to where we are, what you're here. But how do we restore macroeconomic stability? And you hear that conversation deeply from the government side. So on that basis, I agree with her.
Now, if you... Maybe sir, because you raised two issues.
Taxes briefly.
Okay.
Then perhaps you can come in with other. Right. And so, buying side, and common is here. If you say, you know, say the clear way forward, no. Ye domestic revenue mobilization. Ye yankasa or maimuha. Ye say, say ye faso near any sika ama or mayana. Say ye different home. Let's see 10 year, you see it, you never got trouble, a yak trouble, a yak trouble. Ye because mean just say what one dear, what the VAT at so. VAT now they are to farmer are buying. Not enco. Say enqua. The consequence is that diminishing your of her. Because of that, because your mind more anxious yet a musikasan. Then the other side of it, a free trade for traders in Zoban and the same. Maybe I'm a shame commonality in exchange rate, inflation, lending rate. No one already know every woman. And the Sabine and woman taxes more as someone. Now, I buy a teeny and woman a dim community a better. But you almost say the same taxes now are not VAT now one by my Nansa Cano. Almost the 2 years were almost more costly. But you will need a beer before so will be well or no shop or crack or tabia and Pia Barton. Or no straight to this over here, what the same thing. So any fan also the same thing, no, or no, the VAT behind it. And that's so when you issue VAT receipt here, and to almost they will be losing business. And yet difficult, sir, as a mind, you bet me. Ashe same way na yatato. But quickly, say ye kasa ye nyanu close to shops. Foreigners are cashing in, and that's my worry.
All right, now yo, maybe it's our question here because also you agree with my colleague in the studio say. A clear-cut policy direction of government about how to resolve the issue we are in now. Can I point you in the direction, sir? Government has indicated where it's going with the introduction of the e-levy. Can I also suggest to you, sir, government has indicated where it's going with a cut in government expenditure plan, 30%. Government are catching ministers travel. Petrol, one more usual vouchers, any kind of money in government says it is doing that. Bank of Ghana catcher said they will buy gold directly. Government of Ghana again, catcher said forex bureaus are one more pretty across the country. We saw the operation now. Now, forex bureau operators are one more operating illegally. Again, government has sent GRA officers to the ground. Your own information you are giving me this morning suggestive said people who were paying around 400,000 are actually supposed to be paying around 1.9 million. These are steps that are obviously in our faces, are they not?
Only me mean, there are no measures. So there are. But how come CD continue to depreciate? How come inflation continues to go up? How come lending rate is on the rise? Potokasem, and as a finance, it's a big systematic risk. Individual business entities. What do you fight here? You know, and one ability. Sanya we need first systematic risk, and near my kutia a good year and in my year. One more dear, one more debate point here ever for. A buying moon and necessary or yen and she say, yes, said you they are systematic risk. I can hear now a ma business no a chile woman at the perform. So factors are enumerated in they are aware. What I'm seeing, let's say your dollar reserve. I'm painting this picture so that Yenya Kasaya veterans in immediately. How do we fix it? And then we look at medium term. How do we put medium term measures in place and fix this? And then long term. So he said the concern immediate and the medium. If you say cocoa syndication loan, $1.3 billion. And start in commodity air cost projection abided by and it's middle of this month. This is 21st. And now you're 21st. And hit Bank of Ghana accounts another one. So I will tell you 110%. Senka Sidino Ahwadeno additional. And the more SARS syndication loan a big delay, the more non-necessary depreciation. I want to be as practical as possible. What you say? And the government should engage us in this conversation. I know all the measures you are talking about. And from time to time, challenges a woman any in a home como. And the more we do ultra home any in home. That is what I'm talking about. Look, a bunny measure back what the buy and they say, so person dollars no. Mining companies, oil and gas companies are womu ekoton womu enyema wa amanoni ejaso. Omo dollars are omu binya. Bank of Ghana airport. Obada has about $60 million dollars. One mining company at the Bank of Ghana. And the projection is that by the end of this year, $600 million. I'm always closer with policy of government.
All right.
But then the issue is that, say, you processing your crude oil. I mean, say, first quarter of next year, January, February, March, we are very optimistic. Obi a minute kasa bia and komo bia me radio, TV, anywhere bia. We created a level of tourism in the first quarter of next year for two reasons. Reason number one, and you say, from an oil refinery, and in your base in Ababaji, I want to take about $60 million. Yeah, the refining crude for domestic market. And the projection is that about 45,000 barrels a day. I know there's another company, private company, Sensu. And also so Oma invested $3 billion into the refinery. It is still within Tama Enclave. I want to add the refinery that's 60,000 barrels, a day. That will take us to around, this is 45, this is 60, it's over 100,000 barrels. The entire American win and say, say sika manfo enya de import crude nkwan I can go almost to demand the best $500 million. So you can appreciate where we are. Exactly. Dollar no ho akwa atwe no. Na so none again sika agi dollar best $500 million na dia kokko fanwo ya dani eni awie abeton wo mu Ghana. So on the fiscal side, government is doing this brilliantly, and I want to see.
All right, Alhaji.
In first quarter of next year, no, so I refineries be may demand na demand for dollars on kaire akofom. Now at the same time, no, and Kenya cocoa syndication loan. Not at the same time, no, IMF on Zoire.
Alhaji, you're wrapping up with Alhaji. Alhaji, let me come back to you because you also kept making the point about monetary policy rate and how the upward adjustment, is impacting on the banking sector. But just recently, this is about 2 or 3 days ago, the IMF made us to understand that the government of Ghana must hike the rates, but must do it cautiously and carefully. And it's beginning to look like the upward adjustment is the only solution to bringing down the inflationary figures we are seeing.
Yes, that has been the story. And yet Ghana almost fighting inflation in increase your policy rate. As I influence your lending rate. And if you say we can't go any further. If you say any money be or honor the inflation from CD depreciation aside. So that's it. And see a more as matter of agency, cocoa syndication loan. I mean, it's a syndication of 20 banks. And why is it delaying? This is the kind of information that the market wants. And how quick can it get here without sale? Well, when the information the market is here, say the market a bit to me stabilize that. Because they say there's a lot of speculation. Well, because so rush to buy dollars, Kosra say in say assurance dollars syndication loan about unyebia ubenyebi e kwantamon phone to meka and rushing pre-war mosa. After all, see how the day still with almost policy rates and monetary policy or monetary share of the other. I'm not say obi kwesika no di kwakwa for treasury bills or bonds. I'm not say obi kwakwa di invest even fixed deposit grant. So say returns are attractive. And $1 go said the bay and one cost for non from being a scan. Alternative place there on being invested on returns so be decent and attractive. So I say.
But then you want to concern the rush for air treasury bills, is that not where the concern is? Because just recently the downgrade of these 3 banks, Fitch, their reasoning for the downgrade was as a result of their exposure to some of these government facilities, the treasury bills and co. And if people are buying, the banks are buying these government products then their exposure to the government makes them also be in danger.
Also, what you need is a perfect balance. There are good and then there are limitations. What you need is a perfect balance. So as I say, my view is that your group point of view we need to place a halt to of say policy rates, maybe I'm a lending rate in further a shoot up. We need to put a halt to it. And I agree with IMF for cautioning Ghana. Advice technical advice So I'm sure Governor Addison will him before they will to keep that caution in good faith. Where I want to repeat, say, SSC now you fix it with sense of urgency. A year CD depreciation because you know so effect on the inflation. It will effect or friend is saying petrol prices. so na afi petrol prices no ekosra na assign affect almost every commodity including transportation.
All right.
Watch it. Now, let us look at fixing the currency. At least.
How do we fix the currency, Alhaji? How do we fix the currency? In your view, how do we fix it?
And I'm saying, in the short-term measure, what we want to see is syndication loan, and whatever it takes from this government to make sure that when you have the 1.3 billion, because although almost agree on 1.13 billion, almost any agreement, still almost the private to home, so they are the rest of 0.17 billion a year ready under the account. So get the $1.3 billion for the market to Bank of Ghana. Now, by the end of next month or latest by the end of December, IMF agreement, so that the first quarter of next year, IMF inflows, ever. So balance of payment support, so you're fixing straight away. Meaning, that is where the stability begins to come in. Luckily, to say, according to finance minister, I think France, Germany, and I think another country, and so through bilateral arrangement, and so them about the support to Ghana. It is difficult to find this kind of support at this time. What you say, and some really almost is good news. Now the entire assignment we necessarily it's good for the market to hear this. This kind of information is useful for the market. What you say?
All right.
Then assignment refinery aside first quarter of next year. I want to see this pack of arrangement.
All right, Alhaji.
Within short time, so they it me stabilize the currency.
Ghana 40 under 1 minute. The equity my solutions now, but sisi an yembo ye brasing.
To say no say now the difference deco now feel so home to me so. O de ba mi no anya hwe. Say so na o sabi o nye bibia kra na o tuka o fuel album na oni na nkromu a samre no se wo motorbike na se car ketwa the engine capacity no wo from a fuel consumption e wo from a omodian na use here no adru empempenso a enye oman Ghana kra enko a ne say nyina wo no watiafo nyina ti ase se sankomo yi nkomo yi ayedie I mean ye ngasa ye nia kwesi kwating within 35 or 38 days no also resign the boss na oyile one also I think 48 days as prime minister one also official is about the economy is about the economy.
All right.
And that's all that I want to say.